All right. It says we're live. Welcome, everybody. And we have a couple people out tonight. Uh, Nothing major, but some of it's good things. And we have a couple people out tonight.
Oh, deja vu.
Some of it's good things. And we have a. Let's see if it's gone. There we go. Let me start over. We got a couple people out tonight, but we have plenty of us here. So Dee Dee's going to be a few minutes late, so she'll be along in just a bit. And I'll go down the stream here and just say hi to everybody. We have people waiting in here already.
Is that great?
Yeah, that's always awesome. There's Grasshopper. There's Mary Page Flynn. Thanks for your help a while ago, Mary Page. Jenny Lynn, Michael Long, Monica. Why did that jump on me? That's crazy on a phone. Monica Lynn. Lucky Smith, hey, how you doing? Silver Creek Aquatics, Skull Aquatics, Mark Sterilson, hey Mark, verily, Paul McCarthy, who's a new lizard dad, Dennis Christensen, hello, Furlough Aquatics, hello. Furlough's having fun. He's putting up new critters that he got at the reptile show.
My favorite thing to do.
Right, me too. Maybe everybody. No, it's keeping on going.
Isn't that great?
Patricia, T-Bone's partner, is letting us know about his passing. So we've seen that in a couple of streams. So our condolences. She knows to reach out to us. Think she needs. Dennis, hello. So I think we did. Not hello again. There's Aquamate on my channel.
It's so nice to see Aquamate.
Yeah. And I was just telling guys backstage that he's going to be a guest in a couple of weeks, so but he couldn't tonight. I gave him very short notice and he had plans, so.
Did you see Lucky's comment? It's
No,
like Sunday reptiles, but with fish.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. But recently we got off on reptiles and the fish, but nobody complained about it. George is awesome. So whatever he had to say, I wanted to hear. We can't wait either, Josh. That's awesome. It's going to wrestle live crocodiles, saltwater crocodiles for us. So. All right. That's everybody. So welcome everybody, and thanks for being here. Let me make sure Dee Dee's not back there. She's not. All right. So we're supposed to talk about, got to go now, but I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Have a great day. You too, Josh. Thank you so much.
Look forward to it, Josh.
Very much. Hey, Craig. No, I didn't say hi to Craig. We're going to talk about the panel. Just as a conversation starter, basically, like what might be our favorite fish or our favorite tank. And it doesn't have to be a tank or a fish that we have right now. We don't have to show it. Just talk about it and talk a little bit about how we kept it and or how we do keep it and that kind of thing. So I can go first, but if anybody wants to go first. Plus, we've got a link pinned at the top of the channel, because I really like to hear from some of you guys. Like when we don't have a guest, for this time slot, I'd really like to be able to include you in the chat more, because you guys certainly have your own hobby and lots to share. So.
Oh, that's cool. So there's a link, so if somebody wants to tell us their favorite tank.
Right.
Oh, I like it.
And we'll probably limit it to 5-10 minutes, something like that, in hopes that.
And then we'll vote you off the island.
We'll throw you off. That's right. Let's see. All right. Craig said I'd be in. Oh, they're talking about something else. If I didn't have to go to work. Oh, okay. Craig and I are kind of like, he's my people, so to speak, because he's up doing live streams at like 3 and 4 in the morning. He's in Australia, I'm pretty sure. And that's when I'm, starting to wind down, and Susie will get up and say, I see you're up early too, or she'll like something up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I'm just closing up shop for the night. Yeah, for me to be up before 11 or noon is, I did that
Wow.
5 o'clock for 50 years. I'm done with that shift. So anyway, so Craig, I always watch his live streams while I'm rushing around, getting ready for bed and doing things. Walking dogs another time, all that stuff. I just popped into first for a funeral. Yeah, she's going to be going this weekend to get everything taken care of. So again, let us know if there's anything we can help with the fish, advice, anything like that. So yeah, he's got an interesting channel for sure. Nobody wants to talk about any of their fish. They're not proud of them. They're ashamed of all their fish.
I'm ashamed of every one of mine. No.
All right.
But you said you were going to go first, so I was trying to keep my yapper
I
closed.
will. I will. Since they're right here behind me, I'll talk about my pacu, which I talk about too much anyway, but and it's kind of a public service announcement. I know better than to get fish that are going to get bigger than I can handle in the long run. And these guys, when I researched them, the store had them labeled, first of all, as something that they're not. They're pacu, they're just pacu. They're not mini pacus or some species of pacus that stays a foot long. They're already well over a foot. But anyway, they weren't labeled, and I don't think it was the store's fault. I think they just came in mislabeled. And they had a nice little school of them, and it's not one of our local stores. There are people that come on. I was out of town. But anyway, I'm glad I got them, and for a long time they lived in a 55-gallon, maybe the first year and a half. And when they got to be big angelfish size, I started thinking, I need to move them up. And so I planned to get this 180 anyway. So I had it up and going a few months, and then I thought now's the time to move the pacu over. And they've been with big silver dollars and angels. They grew up with fish, and you hope that fish that grow up with others don't eat them, but I think it depends on the situation and the fish. You can't rely on that at all, because my puffer started eating her tank mates. When she got big enough, she's like, well, been nice knowing you, but we've been together a year, so I don't think you can rely on that. So I was hesitant to put them in here, and they were big fish then. They were hand-sized, but they're just very gentle. I had hand-fed them and always gave them nuts and berries and dried fruit, all the stuff that really they needed from the wild. And they did just fine in here, the transition, but they've doubled in their size, easily doubled. And I can still hand feed them. I don't let them get right up to my hand anymore. I drop the food and let them take it. But they've never tried to bite me, or if I shoo them away, they go away. So they're very, very timid. They're not like piranha. They're related to them, but they really are timid, sweet fish. They're just big old, clumsy giants, like a bull in a china shop. But they really don't have the room in there. The room I like them to have to swim around. The parameters stay okay in there, but it's not going to be that way forever. They're probably half grown, close to half grown. So I've got to get them out of there. And so I did order them a pond. And what happened is it hasn't been shipped because it was out of stock, and it said they had 4 in stock. So then I had to go back and decide if I wanted to wait. Anyway, I've got to decide in the next day or two. It's not urgent, but I have paid for it already. I had ordered a rectangular one. I just thought that would be better than a round one, so they'd have a longer area to go back and forth. And both of them are just over 1,000 gallons.
Wow.
So yeah, and it's
wow.
It's going to fill up my bedroom that used to be my office, but it's perfect. It's got carpet down, and I'll vacuum it to make sure there's no little gravel or anything in there to puncture it. And got a window in there, and there's plenty of room around it. Going to be a couple of feet on one side and like a foot on the other 2 ends. It'll fill the room up. So they'll be in there, and I'll probably end up spending more time in there than I have in an empty room, of course, but I'll miss them. But until I can get them someplace that's bigger than 1,000 gallons, that's where I'm going to keep them. They're too big for me to transport anywhere than other short distance. So the aquarium didn't want them. They were interested, the Tennessee Aquarium in Chattanooga. So I thought I would try the aquarium in Georgia, the Georgia aquariums, but I wasn't really impressed when I went there with their South American biotopes.
Why?
They were aged. The tanks looked like they had aged out, and the fish all were old fish, but it just didn't look vibrant or as opposed to they had a whole huge room like an amphitheater with a huge tank with fake coral. Well, some of it was real, but all kinds of saltwater fish, like a lot of the ones I have. And that was beautiful. And we sat and watched that. We sat in the chairs and watched that for a long time. And that looked really, it just looked like fresh. I don't know. You've just seen a tank that looks not stagnant, but it's just has no real life to it. Everything in it seems to be on the down spot. And so I really never thought about sending them there. So I would probably have to go again and look at that again. That doesn't mean they would take them, but they didn't have any pacu that I can remember. So, and I may look at other places, but for now they'll be in something that's appropriate for their size. Because going from 180 to, I think it's 1,030 something gallons full. So that'll be a huge improvement for them. I just don't want to freak them out, and scare them. And I'll probably move some fish with them too, so they're not just two huge fish looking at the wall. So but they're my favorites. I wish I hadn't got them because I didn't research them well enough. I thought, I did research what they had posted, but there was no way that they could have.
So they actually had posted mini pacus?
They're not called mini pacus, but they're a species that. And I remember showing the videos when I got them. I've still got it up, like what the name was, and a couple people even in the live stream said, "Yeah, those won't get 3 feet. They're the whatever, and the big ones are not in albino, and so that is what they are." And so I just didn't research it enough, and they had probably 30 or 35 of them. Thank God I only got 2.
Wow.
And I've always preached that: don't get these big fish, lesson learned. I didn't have to have them that day, but I did. So I'm responsible, so I'm going to make sure they're well taken care of. So, but they're my favorite. We love the treat mix, the nuts and the dried fruit and all that. And
Now, are you going to put anybody else in with them when you move them?
yeah, I'll put some other fish over in there. That's the thing,
What
though,
would
is
a good tank make for a large pacus?
well, they've never bothered anything. That's where I've got that I just love. The special Aurelius barbs are in there that are, just an inch. I just got 17 of those from Dan. And they're right in there. They've never tried to bother any of my fish. And even some of the little small fish, like the sebrums and stuff, they're getting bigger, but they'll take food out of their mouth. And a couple times I've actually seen little fish get sucked in their mouth, like when they've been taking food in, and they spit them right back out unharmed.
Oh, wow.
So apparently they're not really interested in. I think they're classified as omnivores, but they seem to really like the vegetable stuff, the nuts and the fruit.
And trail mix, yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I get all the chocolate. They can't have any of the chocolate.
So you sit there and pick it out. Yeah.
But I've thought of different ways to do it, and I wanted a koi pond and like one built onto the deck. I've got that great big deck out back, 2 levels, and I thought about that. But they would still have to come, like when it gets down in the 20s and 30s. It does rarely, but it does. So I don't think I could heat that satisfactorily, even covering it for koi. And I really don't want to maintain a koi pond. Koi are nasty. I mean, they're biolodes, what I mean. And I really don't want to get into managing that. And I don't want to add more fish. So,
Right.
So I just keep them inside where I can control.
1,000-gallon tub. I can't even imagine. This sounds amazing. How long? How deep? How wide?
The rectangular one that they're out of, that I'm waiting to find out when they will get it, is 10 by 6. And it's 30 inches tall. And this is 24 or 26.
Mm-hmm.
So it's taller than this. But you see, they're not that tall. They don't even take a third of that height.
Right.
Oh,
Wow. That's gonna
and
be
I'll
awesome.
have to. I'm looking for something to put around the edges too, because they do. They don't try to jump out. They've never jumped out, but they've hit the glass a lot of times. They misjudge it,
Ah. Oh, because they swim at such a fast rate.
and turning around sometimes. And what really worries me is they slam into the sides, misjudging the distance. And they're big fish. I mean,
But this tub is a plastic.
it's that it's a 3-layer. It's that some kind of steel. I can't think of the name of it. I can look and tell you what it is.
Yeah.
Got-
Like
got-
galvanized.
No. It's not that. It's not steel. It's a material.
Okay.
They don't bite anything. I mean, they wouldn't try to bite their way out or anything. So they're very food motivated and, just hanging out. So,
So I'm trying to calculate the weight of 1,000-gallon.
well, it would be, say 7 pounds. Just say 7. I think it's 7.2 pounds, but so that would be 7,000 gallons.
7,000 pounds. And how much is a ton?
Pounds.
What is a ton?
Is
My
it
mind is
1,500?
blown.
Is it 1,500?
So that's almost a half a ton.
Yeah.
Is that a cement floor, that room?
No, but right below it, I don't have a basement, but I've got I call it a squatting basement because I can walk around all under there if I squat,
Okay.
But the guy that looked at my air conditioner, I know him. He came look at my air conditioning a few days ago. He was under there, and he said something about these tanks and how much does that weigh? And I said, well, look under there while you're under there, because the air conditioner's right there. And he said it's not sagging, it's nothing. And he said whoever built this house really did a good job. It braced up well and all that. So when I told him I'm about to put 1,000 or whatever, how many gallons of water in there, and he said it should be fine because it's going to be all spread out throughout the room. So, but
And
it
you're
would be
not going to
really.
need any substrate or anything in it because it's just going to be so big, right?
I'm just going to put not even half an inch, just enough for them to have something to not see the same color bottom as the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just something to kind of make a difference so they don't go crazy. Look, everything's white in here. The ceiling's white, the sides are white, but I forget what color it is. I think it's a gray, either gray or blue, depending on which one I can get. So
I think having sand or something in the bottom helps with cycling and stuff because it gives
Oh, for
another
sure.
place for bacteria
yeah, it'll be some of the sand
to
out of
grow.
here.
Yeah.
I'll probably take 50 pounds out of here, maybe 75, and then add another 50-pound bag back in here because that's all got beneficial bacteria on it. And some of the plants I'll replace that's got bacteria on them. So, and I'm already cycling some sponges to go in it, and it's got a pool filter, so I'm going to cycle that. I'm going to put media in that, but I'll have to be watching, those parameters every day, checking those.
So my pond in the backyard is 2,000 gallons. So that's half of my pond. That's amazing to me.
How deep is that pond?
3 feet, 3.5 feet, and some the deepest, and then it goes up to 3, and then it goes up to 2.5. So it's not really 3 foot. It's like staggered.
So you've got more surface area than
Yes.
I've got, even with half of it.
Yours is just that would be perfect for turtles, Pam. Wouldn't that be? Could you imagine 1,000 gallons? My turtles would be like, I'm in heaven.
The thing is not that expensive. I can't remember how much it is right off, but
Do you
it's
remember the
affordable.
name brand?
I'll look at the link.
Okay.
I've got it saved, and I can put it in the chat here, I think.
Wow. That's cool. That's great.
Yeah, I researched it. It's got like a 4.5 rating from people that have used it for fish and as a pool, as a swimming pool, so it's, I'm satisfied it'll be fine.
Yeah. Now, are you going to do the video when you set it up of you swimming in it before the fish?
Yeah,
Plant the seed. I'm planting the seed now.
with the beneficial bacteria on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but I did think it would be super cool to get in there with a little snorkel mask and hang out
It
with.
would be amazingly cool. Are you kidding? 10 feet long? Oh, I'd be so swimming with the fishes.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're going to bite me, or I mean, if they did, it
That,
would just be.
that's a dream of mine. It has been for a while to see Bob swimming with the fishes.
Really? Yeah. I got that one, Pam.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't forget the speedo.
Yeah. Like the Mafia swimming with the fishes.
And Mike too.
And Mike too.
Hmm.
I just think it would be cool. Why not take it back? Of course, that's going to add another 240 pounds when I get in it. So.
Wait, Whip is saying it is going to be over 4 tons.
Oh, wait a minute. Google says.
Yes, because I was under the same impression that he was.
That's what I've heard too. Is a gallon of water is a little bit over 8 pounds.
8 pounds. I should
Still,
say.
Yeah.
8,000 pounds. He says is 4 tons. 4.
But I'm sure for one thing, it won't be filled all the way to the very top. I'm sure.
No, with it being.
Plus, if it's that big, it's going to be like spread out over different support.
Yeah, that's
Supports,
full.
underneath the floor. It
That's
won't
why
just
I
be
came
on a
back
couple
there.
of them. It's going to be spread out over them.
Right. I measured in there, and then I came back and measured the height of this, and it's either 24 or 26. And I keep it up to you can see it. Can't see the water. Keep it back there, but it does have lids on it. But taking out 6 inches of the water to keep it down to say, I don't
800,
know.
800 gallons.
Right. Yeah. So it's not going to be quite that heavy.
So it'll be 3 tons.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. So I'm going to go next. My favorite aquarium is Bob's.
Ditto.
That's what I want. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
I'm taking my time and making sure that this is what I want for them. And
Yeah.
it's kind of a second chance since they didn't have it and it was supposed to be there. And
Right.
Oh, let me put the link out there.
Yeah. Now I was thinking, like, if it was in my basement, I would be comfortable because my basement is on a cement pad. But I'd be so scared. Oh my gosh! And I get what you're saying, Pam. Like, it's flat, it's spread out, and I'm glad you had somebody already down under your thing looking at the structure, because I would be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's an electrician and he installs units and heavy stuff all the time. He's our to the arc and gives us a good deal. So I've never had him here before, but I needed somebody in a hurry, so he came.
Right. Oh, cool.
But I do have this concrete down there, and it's flat, it's level, so I could put them down there, but I wouldn't see them that much, and
Right.
I would be trying to maintain the temperature. It stays cool down there in the summer. I would have to put some. I do have lighting down there. I just remember there's some overhead lighting.
Yeah, but you don't want to go down and squat to visit your fish. That would suck.
Well, I have to sit in a chair. Have to sit in a chair, basically. So that's the only other thing I can think of that might make it safer would be to put a couple of sheets of like 3-inch plywood under it to distribute the weight more evenly. I don't think that really would change it since it's got plywood under it and then carpet over the plywood. It would just add the weight of more. Anyway. Bamboo. I know it's craziness. And I could put them in the garage. It's concrete and it's right out the kitchen door there. And of course it's a double garage. I could put them in there. I've got to get a new garage door I found out, and it's going to be better than the one I have. It's insulated, and they could actually be in the garage. It would be a lot safer on that concrete. Plenty of room for me to pull my big truck in still, since it's a double garage. I don't know. they would be in a different room there or a different room there. So I hadn't thought about putting them out there, but I do have to get a new garage door. I ran into my other door, and they say it's not repairable. Backed into it. I used to keep cats out there, kennels of cats in my garage when I first joined the Ark, and it was hard. We had colder winters 20 years ago than we do now, but I would heat it and then try to cool it with fans and leave my garage open all day while I was at work in Chattanooga. And they survived. I never had a cat freeze, and then I had the cat house built out back, the 4 level, but that's not big enough for a pond. So I might just put him in the garage. I hadn't thought of that.
That's not a bad idea. And then you can set up a special Paku corner.
Yeah, and I don't have windows on. I don't have windows on my garage. Is Dee Dee back there? No.
So that it doesn't get too much algae. That's a good idea, Bob.
I don't have windows on the garage, and they said it's like $800 more for the double door, and I'm like, no, I haven't had windows for 21 years. I'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh wow! And now your Severums. How big do Severums get?
They get saucer size, plate size, like in the wild. Big? Yeah, you've got some, don't you?
Size in the aquarium.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll be okay in this 180. I've got four new ones. They're like 6 months old back there, so they'll be all right.
Okay. Because I have some upstairs in my 120, and I was just realizing they're starting to get pretty big. But I don't know if the 120, I might have to do some swapping around with this 180 and the 120.
I might ask my niece's husband to come over and look under there too and see what he thinks. And not that I don't trust that guy, but see also if he would be able to put up just some main bracing out in the middle of the room, like maybe four by fours or something like that.
Right.
Just so it would not sag.
Yeah, I agree with Whip. If I had a choice and the garage is nice, I would keep them in the cement. And then since you're out there, you might as well set up some more tanks. I mean, if you're going to be out there anyway.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm taking tanks down, Susie. I'm trying to take tanks down. I've got 2 more groups of rainbows to get out of the rainbow room, I call it, and then I can take all 8 of those tanks down or use them for reptiles. Yeah, concrete's the way to go.
There you go. Yeah. Cool. So who's up next? Who's tank? Who wants to talk about their favorite tank?
Susie is up next.
Me?
Yeah.
Susie's next.
So it's a very different answer if you're asking me what's my favorite fish versus what's my favorite tank. My favorite fish would be Triton the Trimax. Oh my gosh, I could sit here and look at them all day, interact with them. I absolutely love them, but it's not my favorite tank. There is crushed coral on the bottom, which he rearranges. There's nothing about the tank I like, except for the fish. So my favorite tank is my deep bed, heavily planted, overgrown, lush forest-like 75-gallon aquarium. I love the plants that are busting out of it. And when I started, I only had like 7 lemon tetras in it. That's it. And it's a 75-gallon. And I was in no rush to add any fish to it because I wanted to see if I could. I've never done a deep bed before, so I wasn't sure if I was going to kill everything or not. But it has turned, and apparently where I put the Vallisneria, it has runners that come up to the front of the glass. So now it's like Vallisneria is all over the front of the glass, which at first I was like, oh, I got to pull it out. And I'm like, I kind of like that. I kind of like that look. It's on the aquascaping scale, it would be a 0. But on the Suzy Q Lichen, it would be right up there with a 10. Like, so I really like it. Let me see if you can see it. There it is. I don't think we can get in close, but look at my whole mess. You get to see my whole messy room. But anyway, that 75-gallon, which now has my 3 hoplo fish, a Bashir that was hitchhiked in on a plant or something, and it's just got all my favorite plants. It's got my bulbitis in the back that's about 4 or 5 inches wide. Still has all the lemon tetras, the hoplos, and then my tiger pleco that I got at the Keystone Clash 2 years ago, the last year before COVID. I got the king pleco, which I only see on, like, when I come in here and turn the lights on and surprise him. It's like, oh, look what I got. I forgot. I still have him. Yeah, yay. Then he's gone. But as far as tanks, I'm definitely in love with the heavily planted, overgrown, jungle-like look. I love it.
Have you ever grown pennywort?
Only in my pond. I've tried to bring it inside and I have no luck with it.
I had pennywort in one of my tanks a couple years ago, and it came out of the back of the tank. And if you stood outside and looked at the window behind it, it looked like I had a huge hanging Swedish ivy or something. I mean, it was like huge and draping clear down out of the back of the tank, and yeah.
I love that. Pennywort. I'm gonna have to try again. Did you have a good light on it, or it was near a window?
It was near a window.
That's what it is. I do have one tank upstairs that's near a window,
But not direct sun though. It's near one that gets like early morning light.
Do you think my Fahaka puffer would leave it alone if I planted it in that tank?
I don't know, but mostly what was inside the tank. There was some of it inside the tank, but it was mostly the roots. And then, like I say, and I just had I had a tight cover on it, so it started growing out of just like the holes that I'd cut for the heater and stuff, and it ended up just like,
I love that.
It looked like a huge house plant, from the back.
I love the submerged plant that grows up and out of your tank.
Welcome, Dee Dee.
Hey,
Dee Dee goes.
y'all thought y'all got rid of me, didn't you?
No.
Awesome. Welcome. We're talking about what's your favorite aquarium.
Don't lie, we've been talking about her.
Oh no, we
Y'all gotta be something. So what the heck?
Whip asked me if I have the severums in with plants. Absolutely not. I did, but they didn't eat them, but they absolutely turned into like coleslaw. So they just shredded them. It's like,
I can't this lane. Oh well.
I got a lot of weird things going on in my fish room right now. I'm hearing splashing like someone's out of a tank.
That's not a good sound.
No, but everybody's in their tank. So
I had to let the blue car jump out tonight.
did
I
you
just happened to be sitting here, and I heard
Hi, Terry.
on the floor.
Terry, welcome.
Terry.
There's Terry.
What's
Workaholic.
up? Yeah.
Not anymore. I'm officially done. That job is over.
Buy me something.
So, tomorrow morning, I get to going back to my lazy, normal ass self,
Yay!
which I prefer being lazy.
I did too. This is awesome. Well,
How is
welcome,
everybody?
Terry.
Doing pretty good.
I am actually working on these as we speak. I'm rinsing out my mixing bucket so I can add water and put water back in these fish tanks. These poor little freaking white clouds are like, hey, dude, we want some water, man.
They'll probably breed for you.
We want water.
Yeah, you can tell you've been working 12, 13-hour shifts. I love it. I'm not the only one.
I'm so glad those days are behind me.
Oh, is that what
It's
it
something
is?
else getting old, but it's better than having to go to work. So,
Somebody
I
said
got a haircut. Hell no.
now that he's just wearing it his fancy way.
I'm just not wearing a hat. Everybody knows. All right. Wait a minute. Let's
No,
go.
no, no,
All
you
right.
don't put the hat on. I like the hair.
All right. We're good.
You
I
need
feel
to get-
better now.
You need Mickey Mouse ears.
Well,
You need to
nobody's
get-
ever
you need
sent
to-
me any.
You need to get a set of ears. I know if I ever like get some extra money, I'm going to send everybody ears.
I mean, I'm not opposed to wearing Mickey Mouse ears. I just have to know how much it turns her on.
We got 2 DDs. Woohoo!
Yeah, I was going to try to do a tour. How do I move this thing so it comes out the back side of this? To
What are you
change
on?
my,
Well,
I'm on a phone. How do I get it so you can see? So I can see what you're seeing.
oh my God, am I
You
confused?
should just see an arrow, like a circular arrow.
I got I figured it out. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that? Algebra?
You're not going to make us do math problems, are you, 3D?
This is a
No,
goddamn math class.
Whoops, where did
I hope I
Dee Dee go?
don't- Did I just cut myself off? Hang on
You
it.
Dang it.
I
All
made
right,
the
let me
joke.
try to-
Where did she go?
All right. Apparently, I have not used this phone to go in this StreamYard before.
I can't figure out
Apparently,
why I
you
can't
spend an
grab the
awful
link.
lot of time writing shit down. That's
I know,
what.
right?
I'm working on a new project.
Oh, I love new
Cool.
projects. First thing I do is pull out the graph paper.
Let's see what this one does. Okay, can y'all see?
that?
Kinda. Let me blow it up.
That's
That's
why
why
I was late.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
But this is my new auto top off system plan.
You can, mute one of your mics.
Okay. I had one of them muted a while ago.
There you
Is
go.
that better?
Yep, much better.
Okay. All right. Now I don't want to see. There. Okay. I still saw myself. We still showing tanks?
Yes.
Okay. I'll share a tank or two.
No, we're
all-
showing.
What wants to do a project? What's your project?
Oh, that's the auto top off. Little question. What parts I need? There's my tank layout.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it all starts. Scratch.
I love it. That's the part that I love the most, the design,
Actually,
planning.
this is a very intricate plan. Normally it's on the back of a piece of paper.
Dang, that
since
looks like a Dan's Fish Warehouse or something.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's gonna feel like it. But y'all always see the 90s, so I didn't want to show that up close. But this is my orange flash epistogramma tank, and I'm hearing myself echo, so I'm kind of like
I think you're good.
having a hard time talking because you're coming through my earbuds. But there's my pretty boy.
Beautiful. Look at him.
This is a fish that came out of Jennifer Weaver's stock, and Richard Reynolds won them on the Benet auction, and he gave me a pair because he outbidded me, and he's a nice guy. The female is hybrid, of course, but as you see, I'm running CO2 to this tank, and plants are looking great. They do have a cave. We can't see it. I put it so that she would feel more comfortable, hopefully. But now I can't see it. But does anybody have any questions about this one?
Have
The
they
colors of
spawned
the
yet?
plants are beautiful. All the colors in there are really nice.
Oh, thank you. No, he said they're just now getting about of age. Because he's really
Yeah, mine look
grown.
like they're wanting to anytime.
He was all fired up this morning, so pretty.
I ended up with 2 males and 4 females, I think.
With
It's
CO2.
not my favorite tank, but I love it.
with the CO2, how often do you have to cut the plants back?
Stem plants, a lot. Now I see why people like Kelly talk about they don't like stem plants because you're constantly cutting them.
Okay.
I mean, I just trimmed this back like 3 or 4 days ago, and it's already coming right back. This is the 125. Of course, he wanted to come say hi. Hey. And I do have some a bristlenose pleco and a red pleco. They're trying to raise more babies.
Now, is that a blue Acara?
Yes, electric blue. I have an Acara tank, but I have separated the girls from the boys because I can't get rid of more fish.
I got you.
And eventually I'll breed them again, but I can't have them ongoing all the time
Right.
because you know how they are. They like to be happy. And normally, my little Siamese algae eater lives in this cave. That's his little resting spot. Everybody has spots. And I have some, let's see. I don't think I can zoom in. I'm scared to touch it. But I have the silver tetra with the black, with the red eyes. I don't know if y'all can see.
Yeah.
And then I have, is that a black neon maybe?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a black neon tetra.
Okay. I have some of each of those. And of course I have lots of Vallisneria. Because y'all know I love Vallisneria. And I have a little group of these. These are what, head and tail light?
I'm not sure what they are. Are they that or Pristellas?
I think
I
they're
don't know.
head and tail light
Tail
because they
light.
have the glow. I might be wrong. Been wrong before. And I'll be wrong again. At least once more. And I do have some rummy nose. Oh, and I have some scissor tails.
Love the rummy nose. Oh my.
Where? Oh, there they are. Okay, they're hanging out in the back.
Yeah. And of course, Miss Angel wants to look at me.
She's beautiful.
He's a ham.
She is. And there's my boy right there. That's
Aw.
Oscar the Dojo. And now see, this lady angel has had lots of babies, but the rainbow fish eat them. And it was so disheartening watching them fend off, and they can't win. So I just separate them. And I have one little lonely longfin panda koi in that cave. Normally the blue acara goes in there. I put it down for the dojos because they like to sleep stacked up. But he's taken over. And I am running CO2 very slow in this tank because I don't need a lot. Because as this
I don't
they get
see
too
any.
long and then it won't have water flow.
CO2. That's
I-
amazing.
I don't see any plants in that tank that require CO2.
They don't. But
You just want
like
to show out.
the stem, I have it in there, and everything does better in my water if I run a little CO2. And I recently have changed out and pulled everything out but the Vallisneria, and because I had more plants than I could handle. But I've kind of there's this big old fat boy. He's back. He's about 4 inches long. He's huge.
Was that a high fin panda, Corey?
No, that was a Siamese algae.
Oh wow, he is huge.
He's big. I did a
Oh,
video
no.
with him.
Oh, not him. I mean, do you have high fin panda? That's what I saw.
Oh, I do have high fin panda kois in here, yes.
Okay.
They came from Jess.
Cool.
And I have more in this tank from her.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Look at
And they're
those.
beautiful pandas.
They are.
I just couldn't catch those other three that's still in the 125. They're smarter than me. And I have a couple coolie loaches that I got to find, catch.
That Anubius looks awesome.
Thank you. This
I
thing's got to
my
get clean.
problem with Anubius is the leaves never move. They grow so slow that you grow algae on the leaves,
Yeah.
and that one just looks fantastic.
It does.
Well, it's been a trial of the amount of light, the CO2, the movement in the tank. It's a. Trust me, I have had algae covered plants recently, but I'm getting better.
Huh.
And this is one of the hitchhikers from Pulse of Terror. He gave me some Java ferns. And then a few days later, I had these little dotted babies. And there ended
Nice.
up 2 of them. I don't know what if they're male, female, what. But yeah, these long-fin pandas are beautiful. And I have orange shrimp in here. These are from Joe's Shrimp Shack and Papa Shrimp. And I have a few coolie loaches that we will never see.
No.
But because I have the CO2 on this one, everything is lush. And I trimmed this up the same night I did the 125. And I got to come back to it again. But that's fine, because when I get a surplus and the heat breaks, I want to ship plants to Fish Fam.
Yep. And I love the look. I love the look.
I want to share, what I can, because other people have shared with me. So, and this is a kind of, it's not a new tank, but it's a new setup. I got these diamond tetras the other day. Well, they've already been through quarantine, but.
I love diamond tetras. I've never kept them.
And this isn't the light that I need for these, because they're so pretty.
They are.
They've got little diamond flecks.
They're like
They
sparkles.
hit the light just right.
Yeah.
And I have hairband coolie loaches in here too, which nobody's going to. Oh, there's one.
There it goes.
He was here. He's gone. But these shrimp, I've gone crazy over shrimp. But this tank has probably about 40 to 50 shrimp finally. I see little babies all the time, so I know they like it. Now these tanks are works of art. And I'm not an artist, and you'll be able to see that.
Yeah, we don't know who Art is, but we're gonna blame him.
Yeah, he has not been working here. Art has not worked here. But I'm trying to learn these daggone shrimp, and I have finally gotten smart enough to put me some codes so that hopefully I can do my water parameters better.
That's where you're gonna launch your first nuclear weapon, right?
Yeah. But I also have some CPDs from Foxy's Fishes, Pepper Aquatics.
They look like they're ready to spawn.
Oh, they've had babies before. Yep.
Look at
And we had a storm
Really?
here this morning, so everybody was feisty this morning.
Oh crap!
Oh, I hear water. That sounds like a water crap. But in this particular tank, I have tangerine tigers and blue dreams.
Oh.
Now the tangerine tigers came from Grant, Garden of Eden, and the blue dreams came from Stephanie, Aquarium Life.
oh,
And I'm trying to bring as many people as I can in my fishing.
Oh.
And I've got these little botanical ideas from Alex, But I finally learned I can grow mosses.
Nice.
And look on the back of top of that sponge filter. Look at all that stuff growing on that.
yeah, good stuff.
But I'm learning, and they are not dying, so I guess I'm doing something okay.
Yeah, that looks great.
In my next tank
Right.
are PRLs, and I believe these came from Papa Shrimp. And I got my little cheat sheet.
Yeah.
I have my Papa Shrimp sent me some chili wood, and Joe sent me some chili wood. So I don't know whose wood I got, but since I love wood, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And Papa Shrimp, it says something about using these filters as media holders. And so I'm trying that just to see.
What's that now?
Windows box filters.
Oh yeah.
Right.
I've got some just active soil.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay.
see, with
You
just
filled
shrimp
them up.
tanks, I have trouble with Panaria.
Right.
And when I say Panaria, that means I got to strip this tank down because
Oh,
I can't stand it. So I've left the bottom bare so I can just vacuum, and hopefully everything will balance out this way. We'll see. But I trimmed my pearl weed into 90 the other day, and that's the clump I have left over. And I have some, I don't know if it's CPDs or emerald reservoirs in here from Foxy. Because some of them have some have a, and I do have some pygmy cories from her too in some of these tanks. I've spread them around, but they're too quick. I can't catch them.
yeah.
I have to have my magnifier. And I have a little blue dragon guppy in there. And this is my, Lord, I don't know if I'm set right. Red spot head pintos from the Garden of Eden. And
Pretty.
they're pretty shrimp.
Yeah.
And I don't know what kind of snail that is.
Oh wow, look at that.
I don't know. It's mighty orange looking. I got some ram's horn in from plants. I didn't buy them. The only snails I've ever bought was mystery snails. So all these others have been freebies from plant purchases. And then you can see my little fish doing their thing in this moss. Is this Christmas moss?
Hold the camera still.
Looks like Java moss.
Looks like it.
Java moss?
Java.
Okay.
That's what it looks
Okay.
like to me, but I don't know my mosses, so
Me
I
either.
don't know them that well either. So
I think it looks like the Christmas tree.
It looks like a
Yeah.
Christmas tree to me too.
you
That's
may
why-
have it mixed. You may have it mixed together. I have some of mine mixed.
Now see that. Well, that looks more like
Java.
a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to learn these too.
I like
And I
how
do
that
have some
makes like an
pothos.
arbor.
Got me some pothos rooting. And this is Black Fancy Tigers.
I love the tigers.
Oh.
I have, it's a striped little teeny fish. I have a picnic cory sitting back there on the sink. So
Yeah.
I can't see what the stripe is. One of these days, I'm going to take pictures and have somebody tell me, and I'm going to write them down on these little coat sticks so I know. I do know what's in here. These are those green, as you say, Cabodine reservoirs.
Oh, yeah.
And they're really pretty when you shine a light. Very pretty green.
Have they spawned for you?
No, they're babies. These are PBLs. So the black and the white. And this will be blue jelly. And don't know where I got them from. Can't remember. It would have to be Grant. Aquarium or flips. I don't know. Or probably shrimp. I don't remember. And you probably can't see.
You have the whole fish fam in your tanks. I love it.
I'm trying. I'm trying. One tank at a time. I don't know what kind of little fishy that is. Because the picture I'm seeing to catch it is so small. And if I take my eyes off, they move and then I can't see them.
Yeah.
And I'm fixing to drop my phone
Yeah.
right in the tank.
What size are these tanks?
These are those little 2.5 gallons.
2.5. It's one of my favorites. Yep.
Now this one here is probably a 3.5. But they didn't have any more, so I had to buy these little small ones. They had this sale, but they didn't have any tanks. And these are my 24 karat golds from Lady Diane. And
So
this is one of the tanks. I've got 2 tanks. It's one batch she said she saw a green shrimp in them, so she told me to keep them separate. And of course, I don't know what kind of little garter fish that I have. I guess just going to keep the demons out. And this is going to be for some new shrimp that's on order.
Nice.
I have a couple little fish in here. Of course, they're not going to. Oh, here he comes. One of them. Oh. They aren't going to let me get a good look. I think these are the Emerald Rose boys, though. It doesn't look like it's. And these are my fish bones for Papa Shrimp. Oh, let's see if I can. There's one down there. These look like muscle shrimp.
Really?
Terry.
Oh my.
And I know I got a fish in here, but I can't see it. But I have, I think, oh, here's another one. I'm going to have to turn it sideways. Oh, it makes it bigger for y'all, don't it?
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that.
Somebody has molded.
That's a great shot right there.
Wow.
So,
You ought to
oh,
do a screenshot of that, Dee Dee. I'm going to steal that. and take it.
Look at that. Keep
I
it
don't think
focused.
it did
That's a
too much.
beautiful shot right there. Wow.
You want me to screenshot it, Dee Dee, for
Sure.
you?
I mean, it was crystal clear. It looks like he's eating.
Yeah, he's after a shrimp mold.
Got it. Yeah, that's
Good.
great.
Thank you. I didn't realize I could turn the phone and get a different angle. So y'all can't leave nobody in charge of nothing. You got to keep it yourself. And these are my blue steels from Papa Shrimp and Garden Beater. Oops, let me get that closer so I don't reflect. It's not as big. I got to be more careful.
Oh, they're saying in the chat that Daniken started.
Oh, yeah, it is that time.
Well, I have one more shrimp tank on this wall, and that'll be it.
Okay.
All
I got
right.
another wall, but this is it for this. These are my blue shadows from Brian, Motor City Aquatics.
Yeah.
And there's some. These were my very first shrimp I ever got. And I've about killed them off, and then I brought them back. You know, this has happened so many times. But I finally, you know, like I say, I've got my little codes of what I need to try to do. And I have my RDI. Because I was buying water from the LFS, and they didn't realize that their membrane was bad. And I just happened to check my water, and it was like my tap water.
Oh, wow.
So I was pumping it in there. But everybody has little dishes. I'm trying to keep Canary down to a minimum. And isn't that just the cutest little sponge filter?
It is.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You do all that up and do the neck stands and all that and nails that look like that.
I'm sorry, what?
How can you do all that carpentry work and have nails like that?
Seiko, honey.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I got to go tomorrow and get some new acrylic put on.
All right.
Oh, I got me a new ring. Let me show off my gems. My husband got me a new ring.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's pretty.
Beautiful.
I need to get them soldered together.
I actually thought when he said
That looks
tree,
antique.
I thought we were gonna be looking at actual like nails, like roofing nails.
Yeah.
I thought she couldn't hammer and her nails were bent or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
normally I have a little screw or a nail hanging out along the edges of the tank somewhere. If I knew Terry was coming, I would have had one. But anyways, this is wall number 1. And
We'll do. We're
how you
definitely
like the
going to
sexy
have.
lights in the back?
Oops.
Is that
I
pretty?
do like that. I do like the backlighting.
A word of advice. If you think you want to do it, certainly do it before you put everything in.
Yeah.
Because it is a pain in the butt to do it afterwards.
It's a disco.
Yeah.
Especially after the big tanks. I did it for them too, but whew, that was hard.
Hey, look,
It's different things.
the white clouds now have actual water in their tank.
And so does your floor, right?
Yes, it does, and a little
Heard
bit
that.
of the wall actually.
All right.
Oh yeah, dude. If I'm gonna spill water, I do it the right way. I get it everywhere.
That was awesome, Dee Dee. So you still owe us the wall, and Pam that's here. We didn't hear from them, and some of the others that couldn't be here tonight. So we've definitely got a whole nother episode
Yeah.
or 2 of
It's
doing
gonna be
this.
good, yeah.
Awesome. All right. We always run out of time, damn it. So, but anyway, apologies to Daniken, and the links are posted to get over there.
And make sure if you're still in the
And-
chat, head on over to Daniken. Let's go.
And
Right.
hashtags and be Didi's fault.
Do what?
Hashtag Didi's fault.
Hashtag blah, 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 blah,
Yes, everybody, hashtag blah, 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 blah.
All right. Hashtag. Blah, blah, blah.
Hashtag 9-inch
Thanks,
nails.
everybody. Jesus. Thank you in the chat, and thanks for your participation. Lots of good comments and stuff going on in the chat all throughout. So thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Awesome. Next
Bye,
week.
everybody.